Thanks very much. I hope you can hear me. I'm sorry I can't be there in person. The Andan Foundation is a private sector foundation based in Switzerland that's looking for innovative solutions to the refugee crisis. I'll be very, very brief because we don't have much time. Firstly, I want to associate myself with a few things that have been said on this panel. The Deputy Minister's point about inclusion being absolutely fundamental, I completely agree with, and I think it's lacking in too many societies. The clear research evidence that migrants on the whole make a positive contribution to the economy, to politics and society, I think is clear. I associate myself with the growing need for solidarity between countries of origin and countries of destination. And as a British citizen, I have to associate myself with a very important emphasis on human rights when we deal with asylum. What I thought I'd do very briefly is speak about the most obvious link between sustainability and migration and refugees, and that is climate change. And we've heard a hint of this from the Deputy Minister and also from Jesse. I would just like to make these points. Firstly, when we think about climate change and migration, we need to dispel some myths. One myth is that climate change will inevitably lead to displacement. That's not true. There are very important intervening variables that mean that the outcome is not necessarily preordained. A second myth is that climate change will mean there is massive migration from the south to the north. Almost certainly not true. Most migration that we expect to occur as a result of the effect of climate change will be local, internal, and increase in IDPs and internal migration. And I think a third myth, which often puts people off dealing with this situation, is that in order to deal with climate change and displacement, we need to rewrite the 1951 Refugee Convention. I don't think that's the case. We are finding national workarounds through national policies, for example, recently in Australia. But to be very clear, there is no doubt at all that climate change is taking place, and there's no doubt at all that the effects of climate change will lead to more migration and displacement, more IDPs, more human security challenges, and probably more national security challenges as well. The current focus in dealing with this is adaptation, and I think that's the right focus, to provide people the opportunity as far as possible to stay at home so that migration is the very last resort for them. I think, and this goes back to your question about Andan, we need to look at new solutions. We do not have credible solutions for refugees in particular at the moment. Repatriation is not taking place, third country resettlement is drying up, and local integration really isn't taking place in many parts of the world either. We need to make migrants part of the solution and not part of the problem. And I think we need to tackle this issue very quickly because it's coming fast at us down the track. Thank you.